received a lot of questions from you guys about our exhaust offerings for the C8 Corvette because frankly it's taken us a long time to get to this point where we're actually ready to release it for sale. A while back I made a video showing all the technology in the stock exhaust and sort of how high the bar was with the stock exhaust system on the C8, all the things that we had to recreate and all the things we had to watch out for and all the dangers in development and in installing an aftermarket exhaust system on the C8. So I'm proud to say we finished our development. What I'd like to do today is to show you guys what we did. We've kind of mocked this system up. As you can see, it's heavily shielded. The shields will be more rigidly fixed to the exhaust system when you receive yours. But for this video, we just kind of mocked it in place so I could take it off and show you what's underneath. So now that the heat shielding is off, it gives me an opportunity to show you guys what's going on sort of underneath the heat shields with all the geometry and all the other stuff that we integrated into this exhaust system. And the first thing I want to point out is this section right here. I've gotten a lot of phone calls and emails from C8 owners who are asking how we got such a unique sound out of this car. A couple of our prototype exhausts have made their way into the field, and some of you guys have heard it and wondered why it sounds so different. We decided we wanted to try and do something very unique. We wanted to make sure we had a very different, exotic, unique sound that was specific to the C8. We have patented technology that we call our switchfire technology. I encourage you to watch that video if you're interested in learning more about the switchfire technology. But what you'll see is a very unique geometry and crossover design here. And this was not done arbitrarily or just because it looks cool. We took a lot of different ideas and tried them all. And we selected very specific diameters for these and lengths and contours and bends. You'll see the inlet is here, and so this is where the exhaust gases and the sound waves and the heat are all entering the exhaust system. As they come through here, this collector here, they split at this point here, and some of it crosses over to the other bank. You'll see this crossover stuff, and some of it curls over back into the mufflers on the same bank. If you've watched our polyphonic video, one of the things that you're going to learn is that we like to take more than one exhaust note and combine them together. So this variation kind of gives you what we call a polyphonic note or harmony, like playing a power chord on a guitar. It's more than one note together, and typically a power chord is a perfect fifth on a guitar, and we've used some of the same technology that really goes all the way back to Pythagoras. Once again, I encourage you to watch our switchfire video or our polyphonic video if you want to learn more about that. And obviously these pipes eventually make their way into the mufflers. So in order to get that unique sound, the muffler technology in combination with the switchfire technology is kind of how we did it. To make things even more complicated, as you know, the C8 comes with NPP technology, which is a bimodal exhaust where you have a toggle inside the cabin. You can go to different modes and get different sounds. So it's very important that we integrated that technology into this, and very important that we did it in a Borla way. So you'll find unique valves on here that are made by Borla. The bracketry is made by Borla. None of it is universal. It's all very specific for the C8 so that every position, you know, it's not just open and closed. Every position is different, and every position the sound has been maximized fully, not just wide open in track mode or, you know, we wanted to do everything in between, including weather mode, which is really quiet. We wanted to make sure that we maximize the sound for every possible valve position. And as I turn this thing around, you'll see that the valves are made by us. These are not purchased valves, purchased universal valves. We make every part of this valve ourselves. Same thing with the bracketry. Again, now we're at the inlet side. You'll see here these flex joints. Once again, these are not universal flex joints. These flex joints are specific to the weight and vibration properties of our exhaust system and how they integrate with the stock motor. There's a very particular bending moment that we're looking for. So we had to make sure that we have specific flex joints just for this system. Once again, here you have more valves. These are the cylinder deactivation valves. This is further upstream, closer to the motor in a tighter area, and it gets even hotter here. And again, you have plastic actuators, so these actuators are moved away from the exhaust system. They're not on top because heat rises, so it's very important that they're off to the side. Once again, these are specific Borla valves, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your stock actuator here. There's a rod that connects to our valve. On this particular model, on this particular version, we have our carbon fiber tips. As you can see, these are not universal carbon fiber tips. These are specific, again, to the C8. You see these contours here. It's not a traditional just round exhaust tip. These contours were designed specifically to match the contours of the C8 rear bumper. So it looks really great when it's on the car. These are intercooled tips. This technology that you see here, the metal pieces inside the tip are to keep the touch temperature down of the carbon fiber. Once again, we're really concerned about heat. You know, we know you guys are going to beat the hell out of this thing, and we want to make sure you can just drive it and drive it and drive it and race it and do whatever you want without having to worry about heat. On the car behind me, you can see we offer some other tip styles. This car has a black tip on it, black chrome tip. We also offer a traditional bright chrome tip as well, so you have 3 tip styles to choose from, as well as the 2 different sound levels, attack and S-type. And of course, within those sound levels you have bimodal, so each one of them has a quiet circuit too, which we would traditionally call a touring exhaust. Just wanted to thank you guys for giving me a chance to show you what's going on underneath the heat shielding of our C8 exhaust system. Just wanted to point out again that when you see it in the field or when you receive one in a box, it's going to be covered with all kinds of heat shielding. So it's going to look a lot different, and you're not going to see a lot of this stuff unless you take the heat shields off. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be done with this, to have the opportunity to get it in your hands so that we can hear what you guys do with it. And I encourage you guys to send us videos, let us see what you're doing, and call us, let us know what you think of this thing. We're really excited about it. We put a ton of effort into it, ton of technology involved in it. We're just really proud to have it, and looking forward to seeing what you guys do with it.
Somebody tells you, hey, you want to drive a C8 on a racetrack and give us your thoughts on this exhaust system. Those are words that, you know, to a guy like me brings a smile to your face. And as you pull out of the pits and you get on the racetrack and you start tapping through the gears and bringing your revs higher and higher, it's kind of like a symphony. There's a lot of companies out there that they'll build the aftermarket stuff, and in my personal opinion, you know, 95% of it you can really just throw in the bin. The C8, the Borla exhaust, big step forward. Corvette owners like to trick out their cars a little bit. Don't even think about anything else. And I gotta tell you, total home run. Why do they even put a radio in a car anymore? Now, I've always been a big Borla fan, and what they've come up with here for the C8 is pretty magical. There's a whole lot of science that went into the system. So I feel very fortunate today to be out here with the guys from Borla, track testing their new exhaust, serial number 001, on the racetrack. One of the great things about the Corvette is they're very tunable cars. You know, there's a lot of add-on stuff that you can put on them. And but one of the first things is always the exhaust. And not only is the styling of the new Borla exhaust, I guess you would call kind of elegant aggressiveness to it, really fits the theme of the car, okay? But the sound, there's a lot of scientific work went into creating the sound. If you go to Borla.com, you can learn a little bit about it. As I understand, this is the more aggressive, athletic sounding exhaust. They make one that's a little bit more subtle, again, still very much letting everybody know that you're in the vicinity. Because sometimes sound can be intimidating, and there's nothing wrong with intimidating everybody in a Porsche or everybody in a Ferrari, you name it. This exhaust definitely know that you're in an aggressive, fast car, and I promise everybody that you're driving by on the road is going to know the exact same thing. When you want to go, I mean, this system sounds so strong and aggressive. It's been a while since I've driven a Corvette in anger on a racetrack. Well, a Corvette that wasn't mine especially, so we're going to have a little bit of fun.